Civic Trust, I'm welcoming you as the Vice Chair, because our Chair sadly is away. Alan Goodrum, who would normally be saying this, is away on holiday. He'll be back next week, so he's asked me to stand in. He sends his apologies. So we're stood beside the site of the old courthouse of the Manor of Wakefield in Halifax over here. We know that some kind of an establishment of law and order and dishing it out was here from the time of the 15th century and even earlier. There was a gathering place for law and order probably in this area, but the structure, originally built out of cruck and timber, was not built probably till 1400-ish. That structure was enclosed in stone, probably in the reign of Elizabeth I. This is all very probably because we have no old images and the details we have are very scanty. So it was enclosed and it became the place for law and order, manorial courts, perhaps church courts too, courts connected with the Prior of Lewes down in Sussex, who owned the right to present the vicars at the parish church, and also to receive the tithes from the church. So they had courts in Halifax which were probably held here till the Reformation. It's a very small building. We know a little bit about it from a description in the early 1800s. It sloped down internally and a table was at the bottom end, which was where the justices or whoever was in charge sat, and people were judged from there. You can imagine it's very small. You couldn't get many people in to observe, could you? Above the justices was the royal coat of arms. So the structure was converted in the 18th century into a very useful place of work for timber. The Briggs family, first of all, had their timber merchants here. They did everything from woodwork through to making coffins for funerals. They were succeeded sometime in the mid-19th century or late 19th century by the Calvert family. And they continued in this building till around about the time of the Second World War, using it as a timber workshop, and they then moved on, details uncertain, they moved on to work in Dispensary Walk across here, and in fact aged Mrs. Calvert only died a year or two ago, a very, very old lady, so that was a link with the past. Council didn't know what to do with its property here, so eventually it was pulled down. A lot of outcry against it in 1957 from local heritage bodies. Halifax Civic Trust had not been invented then, or no doubt we would have saved it and made it into our own offices. Our first information board then on this site was put on the far side of the building, or the remains of the far side of the building. That was in the April last year, and it was unveiled by Councillor, our present Mayor's double predecessor. That was Angie Gallagher, and she took a great interest nearly about 18 months ago. But beyond that, there was concern about the rough site. It looked very bedraggled. There was bits of stone sitting around in weeds. It was overgrown and it looked a mess. And a number of our members were keen to follow up the information board by clearing the site and making it into a green space which was attractive, and a garden. And Gwyneth led on that project, particularly supported by Jenny over here. And this is what has become of it after a lot of hard work, supported by Calderdale Parks. The project has now been completed to a high standard, and our volunteers worked hard, even yesterday and today, to tidy it up for a special day today, Madam Mayor. Following the unveiling in a few moments, we'll have a little bit of a chat, perhaps, and some of us will then wander off up through town to trace the old route where those judged to have been guilty of great heinous crimes against certain aspects of law and order were taken up to the gibbet. So any of you who'd like to come with us there will be handouts and a few stops as we walk up the hill. So we meet today for the second unveiling, and I've said far too much already. I'm very keen not to outshine the Mayor, so I'll step out of the way and let her say what she would like to. Madam Mayor, Your Worship, thank you very much for being with us today, and we will listen to you.
It is an honour to stand before you today at the unveiling of this Civic Trust plaque at the Moot Hall. This site is a remarkable reminder of our shared history, a place where Calderdale's community spirit has thrived for centuries. The Moot Hall has long been a gathering place where decisions were made, justice was served, and local voices were heard. It is more than just a building, it is a symbol of our democratic heritage, representing the heart of civic life. As we unveil this plaque, we not only commemorate the past, but we also celebrate the future. May this historic site continue to inspire future generations, reminding us all of the values of community, justice, and unity that have shaped Calderdale for so long. Thank you.
You do it from there.
Yeah, that's thank you.
I'm not going to.
I'm avoiding the flowers. I think
I
these
need to be able to take them.
do these come off altogether?
They do.
Great. Thank you very much. Here we go.
There we go.
Thank you.